Need to put these on.
Just if there's a touch question. Okay, Andy, kick us off.
Barry, can you just update us on how the squad's looking? Sorry. Barry, can you just update us on how the squad's looking for tomorrow night?
Everybody's travelled. Obviously, I guess you're asking about John Souttar, Leon Balogun. Both trained again today, and I need to again wait until tomorrow morning to see how they react, obviously from the training session. But good to see them both back training, and hopefully be available for selection tomorrow night.
How big a game is this for not just the team but for yourself as well, I suppose, because leading Rangers out into European ties, it must be a huge privilege for you.
Yeah, first and foremost, I think the team's done brilliant to get to this stage. Now you're up against a very good Fenerbahce team with some, in my opinion, top players. We've watched them closely over the last 3 or 4 days since the game at the weekend. And as you know, they've got a top-class manager as well. So, yeah, we're expecting a really tough game, but we're prepared in the right manner. And hopefully tomorrow, when we wake up, there'll be a few more available for selection.
Jose Mourinho had some nice things to say about yourself today. I just wonder if you heard those, and also he had something to say about Philippe Clement and his comments. Just wonder if you had any thoughts on those as well.
In terms of Jose Mourinho?
Yeah.
Well, listen, it's easy to say he's a top-class manager. He's won, I think, 26 titles, round about that. Titles in Portugal, England, Italy. So, yeah, in my opinion, top-class manager. And I'm really looking forward to coming up against him.
In terms of comments from Philippe Clement, did you have any concerns about those?
Can we ask some questions?
Did you have any concerns about the comments that came from Philippe Clement about Jose?
Oh, that's up to other people to decide what they think of Mourinho, but I think, as I said, he's a top-class manager and he's won so many titles and he's managed at so many top teams.
Europa Spor rakibinizi analiz ettiğinde Türkiye Ligi'nde mücadele eden Fenerbahçe ile Avrupa Ligi'nde mücadele eden Fenerbahçe arasında nasıl bir fark gördünüz?
Do you think Fenerbahçe's performances are different when it comes to Turkish Super League and European stage?
Yeah, we've watched obviously their games in the domestic league and also in the Europa League. But look, they change formation sometimes. But again, it's virtually the same sort of 11 they start with, and as I said, we understand what we're coming up against. We're coming up against a very good team. They have players like Tadic, Dzeko up front. They have so many other top-class players, and we're expecting a tough night. So I think we need to be at our very best if we want to get a good result here.
Barry, have you seen what you've wanted to see on the training field the last couple of days after what happened on Saturday?
Yeah, well, it was important that I got at least a couple of days in a row on the training field. As you know, last week only had one day before the Kilmarnock game, and then obviously before the game at the weekend, it was basically a rest day on the Thursday, and had the boys again on Friday. So this week we've had probably 2 full days to prepare properly, to go through certain scenarios within the game against a team who I think potentially could win the Europa League. So we need to be at it, we need to be organised, we need to be prepared, and we've certainly done that over the last 3 days.
Barry, this tournament has suited Rangers this season, and the games have been maybe a bit more open, which has suited Rangers. But do you expect that to be the same tomorrow? Because obviously Jose is a famously gifted defensive kind of coach.
Yeah, well, they play a certain way, and I know a lot of people say he's a defensive coach, but he's a top coach also. He knows how to set up teams and the way that they play. We've watched it, as I said, we've watched probably 10 games over the last 4 days, and I don't see the way his team play as a defensive team. I think they've got so many attack-minded teams, whether it's Tadic, Dzeko, the 2 wing-backs are really forward-thinking as well. The midfielders are good on the ball, they make aggressive passes. So, yeah, I'm expecting a tough game. The players know that as well. So we're prepared as much as we can, and we need to go and certainly give a performance that I expect from them. Now we've had, as I said, we've had a couple of days to go through things. We've spoke, we've had meetings, we've been on the training ground, we've spent a fair bit of time, we've been in obviously meetings, going through things in terms of the way Fenerbahce approach games, certainly at home. So yep, I can't prepare the team much more, so we're ready to go tomorrow night.
Barry, you've obviously watched the Europa League from a bit of a distance so far in this campaign. Excuse me. Can you put your finger on perhaps why Rangers look a different team domestically and in Europe, and maybe play better in Europe when they're perhaps struggling domestically?
Good question. Look, I've been at all the games this season, home and away, and certainly look, some of the best performances this season has been in the Europa League. There's no doubt about that. I'm not going to hide away from the fact that they've shown their best, and I think we're coming up against a different level, if I'm being honest with you, after watching so much of Fenerbahce over the last 3 or 4 days. But listen, they've proved that at the highest level they can compete. They know that, and I'll expect that same sort of performance tomorrow.
Can you use your platform for translation? Onur Çubukçu, Bein Sports. Fenerbahçe'nin elinde 2 ayrı isim var. Edin Dzeko ve En-Nesyri 3 ayrı turnuvada 45 gol buldu bu 2 isim. Bu 2 isimle alakalı defansif anlamda nasıl önlemler aldılar?
And what will be your precautions against them defensively tomorrow?
So you're basically asking me to give my formation away. They have scored, as you said, 2 strikers, in my opinion, that are really dangerous. But listen, we've got a plan. We need to keep these sort of players quiet. The defenders and also the midfielders understand that. We've went through different scenarios in terms of the way that they attack, but they're 2 players that we have to keep an eye on. If we take our eye off the ball at any stage, then they're going to do one thing, and that's hurt you.
Türkiye'ye hoş geldiniz. Öncelikle Türk milli takımda oynayan Rıdvan Yılmaz'ın durumunu soracağım. Sezon başında sakatlığı vardı. Son maçlarda oynamaya başladı. Hatırladığım kadarıyla birkaç maç önce asisti de oldu. Onunla ilgili neler söyleyecek onun performansı?
I've always liked Ridvan. He's a good player. The issue he's had at Rangers, as you mentioned there, has been injuries, but now he's back fully fit. He's played in a position which is pretty foreign to him. He's played right back for us. His natural position is left back, but he's one player I can rely on. He doesn't moan. I've asked him to play different positions, and he's became a big player. I like his attitude. His attitude has always been first class, and it's now about him being fully fit for the rest of the season, because I think if he plays more games, I think he can get better and better.
Barry, you had some famous European nights at this club under Walter Smith. Will you take a bit of inspiration from how he used to approach these ties as you go into this one?
I'll take a bit of inspiration, not just from Walter Smith, who was a great manager, but also Dick Advocaat and Alec McLeish. I know a lot of people say that I'm new to this job, and rightly so, but I've played in a lot of European games, whether that be Champions League or UEFA Cup it was at that stage. So yeah, but I understand at times that you need to play a different way, and that's something that me and my coaching staff have sat down and spoke about. And as I said, the coaching staff have got a lot of experience in Europe, and we're not getting into this blind. We know we're coming up against, as I mentioned, a very good team with very good players, and in my opinion a top manager, so we're expecting a tough night, but we're prepared. The guys know their jobs, they know their roles with and without the ball. So let's just look ahead to the game tomorrow night.
Last question please, Andrew.
Barry, you've talked about how the last 10 days or so has been a whirlwind. Have you quite managed to wrap your head around how you've gone from an ambassadorial role to going out there tomorrow pitting your wits against Jose Mourinho?
No, listen, it's settling down a bit. As I said, each day is getting a bit easier because obviously you're making some changes. But listen, there's still some things that I need to work on in terms of the football side of it, and also inside the training centre. Listen, it doesn't happen overnight, but I know I've not got long. I've only got 3 months in the job, but listen, I'm loving every single minute of it. I would like a bit more sleep at night, if I'm being honest with you. I'm not getting that, but listen, it's a role that, as I said to you, I'm going to go and embrace it, I'm going to go and enjoy it, and I'm going to go and give everything I've got.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Right, cheers. Thank you.